Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this session. It's just gone past 2 o'clock. My name is Atul Padalkar, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you. This is the Grow Your Business program, the program for green hydrogen incubation. So, warm welcome to all of you who have joined. There are a few more who are probably on their way. We'll just wait a couple of minutes and get started. It's a good opportunity for us to maybe check if you are able to hear me well. If anybody has got your cameras on, I can see Setu. If you can see me, if you can see my slide, just show me a thumbs up. Please use the chat and just say can see, can hear. Then I know we are good for going. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Setu. Good to see you in person. It's been a long time. All right. Nokwanda. Yeah, same. Nokwanda, welcome to you as well. Do you want to just maybe open your camera for a moment and say hello quickly? Just doing a quick sound check, Nokwanda. So if you want to just say a quick hello, it's a good time to do that.
Can you see me?
I can see you, yes. You're wearing a nice light pink jersey.
Okay, hi.
With the headphones, hi. You can hear me and see me in the slides as well, right?
Yes, I do.
I'm just doing a quick sound check because once that is in place, then we know we can get going. Okay, we'll just give it a couple of minutes and we'll get started, right? Okay, so I guess without any further ado, I would like to get started. And the idea is obviously to make sure that you're all on the same page. So, once again, a warm welcome. And what I would like to do is quickly take you all through what the Green Hydrogen Incubation Program is. Today is actually the second session, and that's because the first session was actually the orientation. You won't miss much of the first session simply because we are going to recap most of what we did in the first session just once again. So, in a sense, if you've already seen the orientation, it might be a repeat, but there have been some updates. So, in that sense, you will be able to get up to speed up to what has changed since the last time we met each other. Great. So, let me kick off by saying the agenda for today is mainly to once again introduce the program and its objectives to you. There are some people who have indicated they will not be able to join in person, but that is the main reason why we are also going to record this session and the recording will be shared. So if you are seeing this session after the live session happens, welcome to you once again as well. I would like to take you through then the program structure, how the program will actually get delivered, the formalities, some gaps here and there, what's required to be done, and then the benefits of participation, what is expected from you, and what we will come up with. So we kind of have a good understanding of each other's expectations on both sides. And then we will close with a lucky draw because one of the things which we had indicated was that the first 20 participants with their completed documents will all go in for a lucky draw for 500 rands voucher. So we've got the voucher, and now today we are going to do a very nice and interesting draw. So you will get to see who those 20 are. You'll also see if you are one of the winners, and then that will be the end of today's session. We'll then plan accordingly for the next session. So that's basically the plan for today. What we've done so far is basically gone through the applications and collected them, uh, put them together, and sent them off to Cheta, who is, as you know, our sponsor for this program. They are currently busy evaluating these forms because there are a lot of minute details which they have to comply with. For example, the forms need to be initialed, the IDs need to be within the first 6 months of certification, etc., etc. So there are a lot of details which they will go through and they'll come back to us about. So if there's any requirements that need to be fulfilled from your side, the team will come back to you and advise you for that. Then, of course, if there's any remedial actions required, we will come back to you and indicate if something is missing or something needs to be updated, then we will do those things as well. So we know that a lot of people have applied for this program. There's been amazing amount of interest. Our current mandate is to only participate is for 20 participants. But you know what? We don't want to disappoint those who are not able to make it. And what we are going to do is open the session to all those who applied, who have shown interest, and some might even join us a little bit later. We are going to make it open, but it's the 20 participants who will be the designated ones. And even if you are not a part of those 20, you will still have the certificate of participation. You will still be able to get many of the benefits which we are offering. And I'll take you through all those details in terms of what benefits these are. But it's mainly the ones who are the 20 which will be counted, because that's basically the funders alignment for the mandate. So don't worry if you haven't made it within the 20. Maybe the next time, probably coming in early might help. But never mind, it's not a missed opportunity. You will still benefit and gain a lot of things even there. So having done this recap, the way forward for us is now to really understand who is on the program and a little bit more of details in terms of what is expected, what needs to be done, and how this program actually works. So that's basically what I'm going to kind of unpack in today's session. We will have a follow-up questionnaire, which is basically a gap analysis. And why are we doing this? It's mainly to understand what is your current understanding and expertise in the specific area of business skills, for example, in the area of green hydrogen. And I'm saying this because even if you are a chemist by training, it doesn't really matter, because a lot of the things which we are going to cover in this program is not really a part of many of the syllabuses of our traditional universities. So a lot of stuff which we are going to go through is very much industry related. A lot is practical. Some of it is literally happening as we speak. A lot of it is based on research. So we just need to understand who is at what point, so that we are able to bridge the gap and bring you to the point where we would like for everyone to exit the program having put together certain achievements. So that's basically the background. Today is the first session in that sense, and what I would like to take you through is basically how do we move forward and what are the outcomes to be expected. So there are 4 main outcomes which our program is going to deliver, and some of it.
Hi, Mr. Tatu.
Yes, Setu, hi.
No, sorry to disturb. I'm not sure whether I'm the only one who's hearing that, but there's a bit of an echo. I'm not sure it's because of the recording or it's then tempering on your audibility. There's a bit of an echo.
Thank you for bringing that up. What I will do is, I had a parallel device. I'm going to switch that parallel device off, and I will check with you if we are still.
No, we've covered the first part. We could hear you there, but yeah, we can continue now. It's better.
Okay, that device is off.
Thank you, sir.
No, and please, guys, sometimes I'm not able to see your screen, or please just unmute yourself and raise your hand. Sometimes if I don't see your hand because I'm on the other screen, then just shout out, just unmute and say what you need to say, and just say hello, and I will happily stop. So thank you, Setu, very much for bringing the session back on track. I'm just checking with everyone. Can you also hear me now without the echo and so forth? The feedback, as they call it?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Asanda. Great. Allow me to progress further in that case. We were talking about the program outcomes. We have 4 main outcomes, and these are actually a mix of business skills as well as technical skills. And this is a very interesting space, Because if you have business skills, you will learn technical skills. If you have technical skills, you will learn business skills. If you have both, you will learn a little more about green hydrogen and many other different things as well. Our first objective is to develop a growth plan. What is a growth plan? It's basically a higher and a slightly different version of a business plan. A business plan is a much more elaborate document, sometimes 80, 100 pages, very elaborate. We don't have the kind of time to make a business plan. So a growth plan is a much simpler version of a business plan. It doesn't have all the unnecessary stuff, but it talks very practically about what is your ambition and how do you translate that ambition to specific decisions and actions to do a business. It also takes into account a 360 degrees view of what are your current skill sets and where do you really need to improve on all of that. To do this, we use a tool called GrowthWheel, and all of you will be given a free account of access to GrowthWheel. So that's number one. Second is we will develop a business model canvas for a green hydrogen startup. So a business model canvas is basically used to show how do we create and capture value in a business. There are many versions of the business model canvas. The original one was started by Steve Blank, Alexa Stowalder. It has been refined in many ways now. And the one which we are going to use is a lean canvas, which has been pioneered by a person called Ash Moria. So how do we develop the business model canvas? It's also by using a little bit of AI help, which is linked to ChatGPT. We use a model which helps you to populate the business model canvas, but it shows how the different 9 elements of your business fit together to create value, and it's a great tool for a startup. So even if it's not for the green hydrogen space, and if you're in a business of running startups, developing startups, it is something you can really apply to even your current business if you have one. The third outcome for us is to actually have a market access strategy of how you will take your green hydrogen startup to the rest of the market and how will you get paying customers. So that's basically a market development plan. And finally, we will translate all these 3 outcomes to one apex outcome, which is preparing an investment pitch for a green hydrogen startup. And this enables us to access funding from the various agencies which are out there, which are offering various kinds of sources of funding. And we will unpack that further just now as well. So that's basically the program outcome. From time to time, I will also pause a little bit, open the mic and have a little bit of a conversation. I don't want to make this as a one-way street, only one person talking. And therefore, I will happily take a pause here for a moment before I go into why this program. And I think normally around 10 to 15 minutes later in a program, almost everybody has joined. So yeah, it's a great time to just do a quick check. If are we so far happy with the outcomes on the program so far? Allow me to pause for a moment, and this is your opportunity to unmute, maybe put up your hand and say a few words about yourself perhaps, but we'll do the introductions at the end or somewhere in the middle. But yeah, are we good and on the same page together? All right, wonderful. Thank you. So yeah, those indications are always extremely helpful. Thank you for that. I'm going to go further and probably start jumping a little bit more into the specifics of why this program. So there's a big problem that we as humanity have, and this problem is often called global warming. What has happened in the last few centuries is that because of the rapid industrialization, we have been burning a lot of coal, firewood, of course, we've been burning for years. But apart from the coal, we've been also burning a lot of petroleum products. We've been having wars, and a lot of carbon dioxide and similar gases have been put out into the environment, which unfortunately results in an effect called greenhouse gases and leading to global warming. So global warming creates the side effect that the ice caps on the extreme poles of the earth start melting because the temperature has gone up. Now this becomes problematic because all this water starts flowing into the oceans. It upsets the weather patterns. it creates a complete imbalance, and that distorts the way the world works right now. So that's a huge problem for us as a humanity. So how do we correct this? It's obviously by getting rid of the carbon-based energy sources that we have. And that's basically petroleum, that's basically coal, all of these products which put the greenhouse gases into the environment, including carbon dioxide, methane, and so forth. So basically what this means is we need to move to a low carbon economy, as they call it. And that's what the purpose of this program is. There is an agreement called the Paris Agreement. And what this agreement talks about is to move towards net zero by 2050. That means by shifting out from carbon-based energy economy to an alternative economy. And that's basically why this program has been put together, which is to help industries, companies to move out from carbon to alternative sources. And this is basically a matter of now urgency, because we can't continue the way this is being done. There's a limit of how much abuse the earth can handle at the hands of humans. So we are reaching that human point almost to the extent that it is threatening our existence as humanity. And it's not for us only, it's also actually for our future generations. Our children are going to pay the price for what we are making as mistakes, and some of it, what our ancestors did, we are also paying the prices. If you're in KZN, you know how hot this summer was. So that's only a small illustration of how global warming has been affected. Storms, weather patterns, crop changes, all these are effects which we see on a daily basis. So that's the reason for this program. It's the action to do climate change and mitigate climate change by shifting the way our economy works. So where does it go from carbon? It goes mainly as one of the options to a more sustainable way of how we power our lives, and that is through hydrogen. Hydrogen is something which we often know as a very inflammable gas, explosions and all of that. But hydrogen is one of the most abundant elements in the universe. And even on the earth, there's a large amount of water which we all live around. As we all know, 75% of the earth is basically covered by water and deep oceans. So hydrogen, as you know, going back to school days, is made by splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen. So normally this process is called electrolysis, and it produces hydrogen and oxygen separately. But if this is produced by traditional electricity, it's not sustainable enough, because the point that electricity is going to be produced by, let's say, coal, and is not going to last forever. So energy which is produced from renewable energy sources, such as wind, such as solar, is a lot much more sustainable means of it for producing hydrogen on a sustainable basis. So this is clean energy, because we take water, we split it, and we combine the water, and it's back into water. So we are basically recycling water from hydrogen and oxygen back to water. So it's a lot much more sustainable compared to any other possible energy sources. It has its positives, and there are some flip sides to it also. But such is life. You know, even before petroleum came in on board, before the cars came in, we used to use animals, which also had its pluses and minuses. And then petroleum has its pluses and minuses, and so also does hydrogen. But if handled carefully and used wisely, that would be.
I'm late. Sorry to disturb you. Say I'm late. Will the recording be available?
Yes, no fundo.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Yeah. Sure. Thanks. And feel free to stop me if that is necessary. Thank you, no fundo. But let me take that moment to pause for a moment and say, guys, is this too technical, or are we still fine? We're still fine. Thank you, Jabu.
You're still fine.
You're still fine. Awesome. Thank you, Lungelo. Great. Nomfundo, I see your hand is up still. Are you still having any query?
Yeah, but I think I've solved it now. So.
All right. Okay. No, thanks for that.
But I'm a bit lost, but then it's something we'll talk later.
100%. Absolutely. So feel free, and we will have this conversation that, Namfundo, just a very quick recap. Not everybody is a science student. Not everybody has studied chemistry. So some of us might find and need a top up, but we will have that conversation separately. I'm just giving you an overview of the whole session's purpose and outlines today, but then we will also engage separately where and as needed. Okay, great. So that's the context. Basically, hydrogen allows us to make those changes and transitions into the economy. It's not an easy thing, and almost all countries in the world are trying to do that. To give you a more practical example, we as South Africa hosted the G20 last year. We were the presidency, and a lot of funding was unlocked as a part of this G20 initiative. Even more recently, last month, when we had the State of the Nation address, President Ramaphosa said that 40% of the national electricity will be produced from renewable energies. But quite honestly, we are very far from this, and a lot of gaps in producing renewable energies, in producing green hydrogen, in understanding and implementing these technologies is really a big task ahead of us. Obviously, the big companies are all, in a way, I would say, entrenched into their normal and current way of doing business, which is very much reliant on the green, on the carbon economy. So who's going to make this transition? How are we going to change the way we are currently doing things? Is the big $1 million question. And I think that's the reason for programs like this. Because here, what we are trying to do is bring young enterprises together, bring youth together, empower them with skills, or unlock opportunities, and help together to make that transition into a new kind of an economy. So that broadly, I would say, is the one major purpose of this program. And for that, what we need to understand is the green hydrogen value chain. This might look very technical, but in the future sessions, we are going to unlock it in a more detailed way. Green hydrogen is very much a gas, as you know, and like all of the gases, you can take LPG, for example, liquid petroleum gas, for example. It's all about production. In the case of LPG, it is basically drilled out from the earth. So same way in green hydrogen is produced by electrolysis. So we have production, storage, distribution, and end usage. So that's the whole cyclical process in which how green hydrogen is utilized. And that's the value chain, as we call it. But there are not enough companies in this space of producing hydrogen, storing hydrogen, distributing, and using it at an industrial scale. There's a roadmap which South Africa has put together, which is the Hydrogen Society roadmap. And there are a lot of similar documents which are also in place. And we will share these and essentially abbreviated learnings from these documents for you to understand what's exactly going on in this space. So the green hydrogen value chain is where we now have to find ourselves different opportunities. There will be opportunities for small businesses in installation of green hydrogen, just like we have gas installers, for example. There are fuel cells, for example, which can also serve as localized electricity production units. During the load shedding days, some of the companies have actually moved to fuel cells. Spacecrafts, for example, actually use fuel cells to produce energy. They also produce the water necessary in space. So some of these technologies are already in place, but they are not in place at a commercial level. And that's what we are now trying to do, which is to balance the technical and the economical feasibility of many of these technologies to see how we can integrate them into our lives. So this needs a whole bunch of skills. And the government and its various agencies all have been putting together a roadmap and a practical way in which how these skills can be put together. So this is what is often called the just energy transition. That means not just make the transition, but to make this transition more inclusive by also carrying alongside with us the different small businesses and the different communities that we need to have. So this is often called the quadruple helix. We know the triple helix, which is the industry, the government, and the academia together. The fourth aspect of the quadruple helix is communities and SMEs, if I may add also. So that changes the game because we are now trying to make the transition from carbon to hydrogen a much more inclusive kind of a process. I'll just stop here again for a moment just to make sure we are all on the same page. And this is a great opportunity if somebody wants to put up their hands and share some thoughts, if any, and then I'll go into how the implementation of this project actually takes place. So far, so good. Any reactions by thumbs ups or unmuting? Anyway, whatever works for you. Thank you, Asanda. All good. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, great. Thanks, Ashleen. Thank you, everybody. So let me progress further. Thank you, Nokwanda, as well. Let me progress further by sharing that because we are talking of hydrogen, which is a chemical, this pretty much has been an initiative which is spearheaded by the chemical industries CETA. Now, for those who may not be aware, for different sectors in our economy, there is a CETA. CETA stands for Sectoral Education and Training Authority. Their purpose is to bring industry-related training and skills to the industry. Slightly different from the universities and TVETs, which are fairly academic in nature. But here we are engaging more on an industrial level basis, and CHETA, CHRETA, has been spearheading South Africa's transition to the green hydrogen economy. The person here is portrayed Mr. Yashwant Pillai, and last week we had the opportunity to meet with the CHETA team from their head office as well as the regional team at the ICC, and we were actually given an opportunity to present this project and to engage with them. So on the picture on the right hand side, the very first person on the left is myself. Then there's the CEO, there's another lady from the head office, there's Dr. Padalkar, and then there's the regional manager. In a sense, CHETA has been driving and spearheading this initiative. We've been very proud to be involved as well. And last year we ran one of the cohorts on the green hydrogen program, but it was a fairly small cohort. We had only 10 participants. And based on the learnings and experiences of this cohort, we have been now given the opportunity to have 20 participants, and that's the one reason for this program. The lady on the leopard print dress on the right hand side is Aline, and she's the program manager for this initiative. So these are all the graduates of our previous program. Some of them you can meet, and these were all graduates when we finished this program late last year. So how does this program work? Just to give you a snapshot, we've already done the recruitment, the documentation, the onboarding to an extent. Pretty much today is also a part of it in continuity. And now what we start doing is finding the gap analysis, because let me be very honest, not everybody is going to be at the same level. Some may have a science background, some may not. Some may have studied chemistry, but green hydrogen may not have been part of their choice of subjects. In fact, I don't think green hydrogen is really even part of some of our university curriculum. And that's what will allow us now to shape the program in a way that it talks to where the gaps of our current level of where we are. So you will expect a survey in the next couple of days. I would humbly request you to complete it, because we are working on the fly. That means as we deliver, we also adapt the program content. Fortunately, we've got last year's program content, but very often we recognize that every new cohort has different participants, and we need to adapt it to their specific requirements. So that broadly is the nature of the program. How it typically works, and this is a 10-week program, how it typically works is a cycle on a weekly basis. Like on a Tuesday, which we are doing now, we will have the module briefing. You will get some reading materials. There's a small assignment to complete. You have a submission and there's feedback, and this cycle repeats itself. So there are deliverables, there are small challenges, there are prizes and awards. And in that sense, it's not like traditional learning where you sit in the class and listen and go home and write an exam sometimes. So this is a much more practical kind of a program. And that's what we like about it, because it's much more engaged. What you put in is what you get out, is what I often say to some of the participants. All sessions get recorded. and the recordings are shared. So if you need to recap something, you can do that. If you join late, if you miss something, you can still go back and review that also. Normally we do this on Zoom, but what we do for ease of access is transfer the recordings to YouTube, which is a lot much more easier to access for people, especially with Android phones. So that is basically our program delivery cycle. I've got these 10 sessions as an outline, and we'll also share the slides. So there may be a few changes here and there, depending on what the current profile and need gaps of the participants are. But primarily, we will aim to achieve a balance between business skills and technical skills with a focus on developing a business and opportunities in the green hydrogen space. So this might change a little bit, but I'm sharing with you because this is basically what we will be working towards. I'm not going to go into the detail of it because this is a much more high-level introduction in today's session. So what's in it for you? Why should you be a part of this program? What will you gain out of it? That's what I really want to focus more on because it's all about your motivation. I know everybody's got different things happening in their lives. And why do you need to be here? And how is it going to benefit for you is what I want to highlight. So green hydrogen is a breaking news kind of a sector. If you're first, if you're there, good for you. Because the first mover advantage is something that you can never get as a second mover. If you're one of the early movers in this space, you have a very quick learning curve to date on this space for a very long time. So that's the opportunity because what we will bring to you is also global expertise from other specialists across the world with whom we have been networking all around now. Of course, South African businesses are also there, some of them based in Joburg, but the way to bring that in is largely going to be through master classes. So it's going to be interactive in a sense that people will come here, we will have interviews, you will have, let's say, a fireside chat where it's possible to engage with some of them. They will share their lessons of how they ran their green hydrogen businesses, how fuel cells, which is a fairly mature segment of this business, works, how gases are handled, and so forth. The second benefit is obviously, in most cases, we have registered a company for you. And in some cases where you already have a company, that's wonderful to know. So master classes will be the backbone along with initial sessions like these and the reading materials, which will bring you up to speed on understanding what exactly is green hydrogen. On the business side, you will have, of course, access to tools like Growthwheel, and you will have support mainly to understand how to start and grow a business in a completely new sector. You will, of course, become more experts, better experts in understanding how to use tools like the business model canvas, for example. Yes, you get a certificate of participation on completion that can go onto your CV. If you're looking for a job, that helps you a lot. I would expect that a lot of future jobs are going to be created in the just energy transition space. And being on a program like this can certainly be a big plus for you because recyclables, green energy, sustainability are increasingly becoming the buzzwords. And because they are not part of our traditional curriculum, having been exposed and being a participant in a program like this can certainly make you a much more advantageous candidate as compared to somebody else who's not having these backgrounds and qualifications. A program like this also opens opportunities for networking and access to funding, some of which I'll come to in a moment. And the best part is there's no cost to participate. So that's some of the main benefits. Allow me to highlight some of them in a more specific kind of a way. In terms of learning, there is also an online program from Cheetah. It's on their website. The link is at the bottom of this slide. If you don't see it, of course, you will see it when we actually share the slides. If you can't see the whole thing, the slides will allow a link for you to go through onto this program as well. So this is the Green Hydrogen online program from Cheetah. Cheetah has recently registered 3 new qualifications in green hydrogen. And while it's still not fully out there, we are trying to see how we could bring those kind of programs and make them make these accessible to you as well. So that's the one program. Growthwheel I've talked to you about. It's a tool which remains with you for the rest of your life. It's not only for the program that you're participating, it is something which you keep. And again, there's no cost to you for that. It's basically having access to this tool. It's great in terms of understanding your business and its various 20 different challenges. But mainly, it is an accountability framework. It allows you to make an investor's pitch deck possible. It helps you, though it's not a complete accounting system, but it helps you to manage your finances to an extent, allows you to do costing, but more importantly, its focus is on helping you to make better decisions and take better actions. So that's the growth wheel framework. We will unpack it separately in a whole session by itself. Another benefit is participants get 55,000 rands of credits for Zoho. So Zoho is one of the software platforms, and there's a program which BizFarm is a participant of. Because we're an incubator accelerator, we get access to 55,000 rands of these credits. There's a process around it, which means we give you a link. There is a requirement that you don't have a paid Zoho account, which I believe most people don't have. So 55,000 rand allows you use of Zoho's about 55 apps for roughly about a year or so. And it also gives you hosting. So if you have your own website, Zoho gives you about 25,000 rands worth of hosting. That's possible. So these are various different apps, right? Managing your HR, CRM, even data-related programs, various different business applications. It's a whole suite of 55 different applications. It takes quite a very interesting space to use them, but it helps you drive your business and run it more efficiently, I would say. So that's one of the other benefits of being on this program. Then let me jump to what else is there, which is opportunities and challenges. So as we speak right now, there is the NCIC, which is National Clean Tech Innovation Challenge, that's open. It closes on the 1st of April. So we've got literally 21 days on hand. It's a challenge, and it's a national challenge. In KZN specifically, its focus is on clean port logistics. There's a R1 million prize for that, just at the regional level. And then there's, of course, national level prizes as well. One thing I can always say by taking a step back is opportunities always go to those who are better prepared. And our task as a collective here is to become better prepared. The opportunities are there. And one of my observations when we were engaging with participants to enroll on this program is that people tend to shy a little bit from programs which look a bit technical. They find it's a little bit difficult for them to fathom. But once into it, once you understand what this is all about, it becomes much more easier to manage. And in that sense, it becomes more interesting. So technology is something which is an integral part of our lives. If we give it that space, good for everybody. And opportunities are plenty. In fact, I would say that in many cases, people don't access these opportunities either because they don't know about them or either because they don't know how to work as a team to access them. And our objective is to put and work together with all of you as participants, as part of a team, so that we are collectively able to see how we can access these opportunities and win those prizes and set up our businesses. So that's the broad picture of where we want to go as we go along. And now I will start wrapping up because I want to leave some time for introductions and also a very interesting part, which is the gift draw of 500 rands voucher. So this is basically a voucher, not a shopping voucher. Well, it's a shopping voucher, but it's from Exclusive Books. It's for 500 rands. And it's valid for 3 years. It expires on 10th of February 2029. You can encash it at any Exclusive Books. And we are going to run this as a draw. There's a very interesting way in which we are going to do that. But let me hold this back for a moment and introduce you to the implementation team. That's Tendeka on the right-hand side. There's Asanda, there's Odwa, there's Poliswa. And then the rest of the team is basically the support team. And that pretty much is a very high-level view of this program. I've left the 20 minutes on today's session to primarily have a little bit of an engagement between us and also to have an understanding of how this works for all of us. So that's basically where I'm kind of starting to wrap up as we go along. So yeah. maybe what we could do, I would imagine, if you're okay with it, is switch on our cameras. And now that we've got the full class in place, perhaps a very quick line of introduction about who you are, what business you do, a little bit about your background, and perhaps your own expectations of how does this program work and how can we serve you better. So in no particular order, but I know we've just had Women's Month. I would probably suggest that the women go first, but no such thing. Just put your hand up so we don't have confusion, and then just go for it. So yeah, just unmute and open up your cameras, and then you're good to go. I saw Jabu unmuting, but Nomfundo is up. So Nomfundo, if you'd like, the floor is yours. Please unmute and introduce yourself.
Oh, hi, everyone. My name is Nomfundo Mlambo. I'm 10 years of age. I currently hold a honors degree in public administration, specializing in disaster risk management. I studied at Durban University of Technology. Right now, I have a smaller business where I sell chickens. It was actually my late grandfather's business. So when he passed away, I took over. Yeah, and I'm hoping I could learn more by green hydrogen because I've never been in a science class or any of that. But then, since I hold a qualification in disaster risk management, I was able to get slightly small, maybe 5% of science or of hydro of something relating to the planets, relating to the environment. Okay, not the planet, environment. In other words, disaster and risk management can be also defined as environmental sciences qualification. So yeah, that's all.
Wonderful. Thank you, Nomfundo. Good opening. Yes, I have King Setu and I have Mondli Mungwe. Yes. Setu, you want to go first?
Oh, sorry.
Please
My name is Setu Sidzamba. I'm just gonna put the video off because I'm driving to pick up my daughter. I just wanted to show face, then I'll continue. My name is Setu Sidzamba, better known as Setu. I'm a supply chain management and distribution specialist with about 15 years experience in corporate, leading warehousing. I've got a BCom honors in supply chain management from UKZN. But however, now I'm running my business called Wa Azania Aroma, which is a perfume manufacturing and distribution company. Something that I've not studied, but through the we get located into these things. I'm quite passionate about the topic at hand, largely because also at honors level, my research topic was on issues of carbon emission to fuel, especially within our trucking or road freight industry. So hydrogen is something different. It's a different sphere altogether, but it's something one is willing to say. I'd like to thank you.
Thank you, Setu. Mondli, you're next. And then after that, if I may ask Asanda and Nokwanda in that order.
Afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Atul, for the opportunity to share. My name is Mondli Mungwe, based in Durban. I'm a digital specialist, and for the past, can say 10 years. And I'm looking forward to learning more about this hydrogen. It's a new field. and but I feel like there'll be such important things to share and know about water in terms of hydrogen, and also interesting stuff to learn as well. And looking forward to contributing positively as well.
Thank you, Morley. I see Standave's hands. Standave, you want to go?
Hi everyone, my name is Sandy Webiela. I hold Bachelor's of Science in Environmental Health, and I think I've been in an so not necessarily incubation, but I've always had interest in green hydrogen. So what I'm looking forward to in this program, I think maybe just to see how we really have to align the business model of a green hydrogen in terms of South African laws and things like that. And also maybe it's going to help me to answer a few sort of questions or challenges that I've been seeing with small businesses trying to do green hydrogen. So I think my interest would be more to understand if we now get to produce the whole production or the elements within the storage, the transportation as now green hydrogen as a form of a business doing green hydrogen, and also the regulations, because I think I've been having interaction with people where the most challenge it's the bylaws, the legislations and things like that, and also the machinery itself. It's also very costly, and the whole process. I think I'm very much interested also in the process that we're going to be looking at during this program of producing green hydrogen. But I'm looking forward to learn quite a lot of things. Thank you.
Thank you, Standave. I had Asanda Zulu's hand up, so please go.
Hi everyone, I'm Asanda Zulu. Could I please switch off the video? I'm the founder of Indaba Training Supplies. We mainly deal with manufacturing cleaning products from scratch, and also offer online trainings to those who wish to join the business. Specifically, it's mostly women. We're all about empowering women. I'm looking forward and very much excited to learn about the growth wheel, because it's a new term to me. It sounds very interesting and everything. It's one thing I would say I'm looking forward to learning. Thank you.
Wonderful, Asanda. Thank you for that. Who else? I think we saw Jabu coming on. Yeah, she has just sent a text message in the chat. I'm sure you're all able to see that her speaker's not fine. So, Jabu, one of the things if you'd like to do is maybe just send a voice note if you are able to get that possibly done. So that's an option, by the way. There's Ashreel and there's Nokwanda. So either of you are welcome. Then there's Luyanda as well. Close yours, colleagues.
Hi everyone, my name is Nokwanda Mlangeni. I did my honors in chemistry, analytical chemistry at DUT, as well as advanced diploma in quality management. I am currently an intern at the technology station in chemicals, whereby we manufacture cosmetics and detergents, and also do product formulation, product reformulation as well, and also test if they are according to the spec that is required. I'm very happy about the program, and I'm willing to learn more, because in our department it's what they've been suggesting to expand to the green chemistry part. So yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Nokwanda. We move on. Luyanda, do you want to come in? Ashreel, you're next. I'm not sure if we have had a chance for Lungelo. All right, understand. So some of us can be shy, some of us may have technical challenges, but that's the nature of how things sometimes work out to be, which is absolutely understandable as well. So I think what I would like to propose in the meanwhile is then, just go further up to a very interesting part of it, which is called the wheel of names. I'm just going to set this up for a moment. Please allow me for a moment, but it's still an opportunity for other colleagues to come on board if that's possible. Okay, so colleagues, what's going to happen now is I've got the list of the 20 people who have been a part of this program so far. I'm just going to copy and paste them into the wheel of names here. It's basically almost like a whole list here. Okay, and now I'm going to open screen share so that we can all see what's going on and who are on the names. So screen share, window. Okay, please confirm if we are all able to see the wheel which is rotating. Anyone? We are all able to see the wheel rotating. Okay, so this is a very interesting thing. I learned about this today morning thanks to my colleague Michelle. And your name is up here, I'm assuming, more or less. We have two Onwetus, and therefore we had to have an Onwetu H and an Onwetu B. Both of their surnames start with N, interestingly enough. So much of similarity. But never mind. I think there are some of you who are on this program, but their names are not here simply because the formalities have not been completed. But this is an incentive mainly for those who completed it. And if this works well, let me be honest in saying, we love to experiment. And sometimes these experiments work, sometimes, they don't work, but we learn from them and we make them work in one other way possible. So this is an experiment which we are trying for today. And as you can see on this wheel, what's going to happen next is we are going to click this wheel to spin. And you see the pointer on the right hand side, which is flashing blue, red, yellow, all different colors. It will run and it will stop at somebody's name. We don't know whose name it is going to be. This is a very random randomization kind of a tool. So there we go. Let's click to spin. Are we all good? Can you please unmute and make some noise, because that's the part of the fun, I guess. And just say yay.
But the whole is not clear.
Okay. So here goes the wheel, and it's on, and pray for your name to be there, and it's Nomonde.
Congratulations, Nomonde.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if Nomonde is on the session today. I'm not so sure, but we're just going to leave. I've just taken a screenshot, so we've saved it. We've done this in, everybody's presence. So I'm closing this window now to bring us back to you. So Nomonde is the winner of 500 Rands gift voucher for today's session. So yeah, that's basically it. I wish it was one of us who was here. So yes, a big round of applause for Nomonde. Congratulations to her in absentia. We will let her know and we will give her the code. She can take it to any of the exclusive book shops and, not unfortunately get 500 cash. I wish that was the case. But at least she'll be able to buy the books of her choice. There's a lot of there. Luyanda, I see your name is not there, you say, but we will see what actually happened and how that happened. Yes. So yeah, I think the question that I was being asked just now was, what if Namonde is not here? Does it move to somebody else? And look, to be very honest, because she submitted her documents and everything is up to scratch, she qualifies. If she's not here for whatever reasons, that's tough. But she did what she was supposed to do, so she qualifies to be in the draw. I think, yeah, we will probably need to spell out some of these rules a little bit more stringently, so we know that there's no room for doubt or anything else. But there we are. So, colleagues, in the last 2 minutes of the last 2-3 minutes, I just wanted to say a big thank you to you for making time. It's going to be an interesting journey. It's going to be a steep learning curve. I will, going forward, try and speak as less as possible and make the learning more central to this process. So, last closing remarks from anybody? It's a great opportunity to do that. Feel free to come on board if that's possible. And circulate the word around, because we can certainly put a few people on the wait list. That's an option. And there are some of you who are on the wait list who are here. We are busy trying to finish the onboarding process for some of you, but that doesn't stop you. And I think, Luanda, I'll need to check with my colleagues at the back. I know some of you are here who are still busy being finalized. But but what happens is, if for any reason, if the theater team finds from this list of 20, somebody doesn't qualify for whatever reasons, I don't know. It could be maybe their, ID is not stamped properly. We'll try and remedy it as far as possible. But if there is any, fatally flawed reason for which any of the 20 people can't make it, we will bring up from your other people on the stand into it. But you're still welcome to participate, nevertheless. That's basically where we are. So, any comments, or shall we close for the day? Great. So, give yourselves a round of applause. Unmute, clap. Either you can clap like what I'm doing now, or whatever your method of it is. And welcome to this program. And let's enjoy it and learn and prosper and find opportunities. That's what this is all about. Awesome. Great. Thanks, colleagues. I'll still be online, but if you are happy, you can leave. I will save the recording and we will share it with you in the course of the next couple of days. Okay. Thanks again, everybody.
Hi, when is our next class?